Good afternoon and welcome to the 2018 UCLA Fielding School of Public Health Commencement Ceremony. Woo. Thank you, parents, brothers, sisters, spouses, partners, and friends. We know you played such an incredibly important role in getting our students, the graduates, here to begin with and getting them through their years here. We want to start with a thank you to you for all you've done so far in their careers and going forward. So can all family and friends please stand to be recognized? Thank you. It is truly your graduation, too. What a tremendous day. I have to admit before I talk that I literally do not remember 3 words from my own graduation. That having been said, I'm going to ask you, but you're far better students than I was, to remember 6 words. So those are North Star, learning, patient impatience, and love. And these are what I hope for you as you graduate. You each came to UCLA with such deep commitments to public health. Commitments to prevent communities from being exposed to toxins, to addressing diabetes or cardiovascular disease, to preventing the effects of climate change, to reducing inequalities. You came here with deeply held values about how you want to make a difference in the world. You all, and I know it, knowing so many of you and watching what you do, you all have strong internal compasses about what matters. So my first wish for you is that no matter how difficult the environment gets in which you have to work, and sometimes it will be difficult, that you always have that North Star, that you allow it to serve as a guide when you make the important decisions you're going to be making about where you work, about how you work, what you work on, who you work with, and how you work with others. So that's my first hope for you. Okay, what's next? Learning. You may not have figured this out yet because you're all so great at learning, but by definition, learning involves getting things wrong at least some of the time. So as brilliant as you all are, I expect that you're going to get things wrong some of the time. Follow a path you thought would help people's health and find out it doesn't. It happens to all of us. So the question isn't will it happen, it's how will you respond when it does happen. My hope for you is that you learn, keep learning, but also keep working to make a difference. President Theodore Roosevelt was a progressive, a Republican, a conservationist. He knew something about learning and he knew something about risk, because I actually hope while you're learning, you're not going to get risk averse or shy about taking risks. So I just want to read you the essence of one of his quotes. It is not the critic who counts. The credit belongs to who is actually in the arena, whose face is marred by dust and sweat and blood, who strives valiantly, who errs, who comes up short again and again, because there is no effort without error and shortcoming, who at the best knows in the end the triumph of high achievement, and who at the worst, if one fails, at least fails while daring greatly. so that one's place shall never be with those cold and timid souls who neither know victory nor defeat. I know, class of 2018, you are not timid. So I look forward to continuing to learn with you. Now the next two words, patience, impatience. Change will take time. So over the first few years after I graduated, I received 3 little notes from Senator Ted Kennedy because I was working with him on trying to get paid sick days passed in the United States and paid parental leave. It was a privilege to work with him because he cared so deeply about ensuring everyone in the country got health care and that there were adequate income for everyone. So I had this idea that I would not put these notes from him, these little thank you notes, on the wall until we passed paid sick days across the whole country and paid parental leave across the whole country. Okay, you can kind of guess what happened because I know we haven't passed that yet. So I began to understand that the journey was going to take a long time. And then I decided I'd better put it on the wall anyway, so that I would remember the direction we were going in, and I would remember that I was traveling with many other people, some who wrote notes, some who didn't. So they're on the wall now. We still don't have national guarantees of these basic rights, but it has passed paid sick days, so that people don't lose jobs when they get sick. 10 states, 32 cities, 2 counties to date. So my wish for you there is to be patient, but also impatient. Impatient in a good way. Bill and Melinda Gates are right when they talk about impatient optimists, that matters. I hope you're going to be impatient and not think that we can wait about addressing climate, not think we can wait about the number of people who die every single year. Right now, an estimated 100,000 in the United States from entirely preventable causes. So my final word for you is love a lot. Love your friends, love your family. They're here with us. I'm so thrilled to see them all here. Care deeply about the people you work with. They are going to help you get over the hurdles, the expected and unexpected hurdles. So those are my graduation hopes for you. Keep your North Star. Keep learning. Keep your impatience, but be a little patient with yourself along the way and have plenty of love to help you. We look forward to marching with you every step of this way. The school will always be your home. Congratulations, class of 2018. To you. So it's my great pleasure now to introduce our keynote commencement speaker. So one of the traits of people who work in public health is that we understand that there are broad areas that impact health. Another trait is this optimism that we can make a difference and yet constantly rolling up our sleeves to work on it. And these completely characterize our commencement speaker, Carol Larson. She's president and CEO of the David and Lucille Packard Foundation, where she has worked for the last 28 years. And even though she may not know she's a public health person, because she's also a lawyer, public health has totally adopted her because of what she works on. She works on everything we care about. At Carol's direction, the Packard Foundation made a big bet to address climate change. with a $500 million multi-year investment aiming at limiting global greenhouse gas emissions, followed by another $350 million commitment to augment and extend the work. Beyond climate change, she has, under her leadership, the foundation has worked on land conservation, on access to high-quality reproductive health care, on ensuring communities, families, and their children are supported and have the best chance at leading healthy lives, and many other issues. Carol has a phrase that I just learned last night, which I love, which is, go for the high-hanging fruit. So instead of just going for the low-hanging fruit, be willing to take on the hard things that are so important to do. Her numerous professional accomplishments were recognized by the Council on Foundations in 2016 with their highest honor, the Distinguished Service Award, which celebrates visionary leaders. On a personal note, we're delighted that Carol's family is here with us. Welcome. We are so delighted that her father, Lowell Larson, his friends, Ken and Eloise, and her brother, Tom Larson, are here. Please stand to be recognized. Thank you so much for joining us today. Please join me in welcoming this year's UCLA Fielding School of Public Health keynote commencement speaker, Carol Larson.